This band of protesters bore down a street from Bayman Avenue, headed for the law offices of Courtenay Coye LLP. They would not be calmed by assurances that Belize would not lose its foreign reserves to the likes of BCB Holdings and the Belize Bank. They would not be cowed by the bravado of the People's United Party in standing by their man in the Senate. The leader of the ad hoc group, Belizeans against Lord Ashcroft and Courtenay, Alfonso Noble, says Belize means nothing to the former foreign minister, two-time senator, and leading senior attorney if he would willingly expose the jewel to such risk.
It doesn't matter to him. It doesn't matter to him because the protection that was even further given to the Belizean reserves here in Belize is being challenged by him. You understand what I'm saying, Parks?
The reserves are in the United States, sir.
But the reserves are ours. It is our reserve. It doesn't matter where they are, but it doesn't matter where they are.
They are protected.
They need to be protected
law.
here. It needs to be protected here because the challenging is coming from here, sir. Do you understand what happened in the National Assembly, in the Senate, where he supported the very legislation he's now challenging?
The protesters demanded, as have the United Democratic Party and the government of Belize separately, Courtenay's resignation from the Senate, where he swore that he nor anyone else would stand in the way of Belize defending its sovereignty. Protester Alan Kelly believes Courtenay not only went back on his word, but compounded his error by allegedly flying to the service of Ashcroft in Washington last week, abandoning the Senate inquiry into immigration to do so.
The Belizean people interest wasn't important. That's the reason why Courtenay jumped on the plane and leave the Senate inquiry, because that means the Senate inquiry wasn't that important to him. When the leader of the opposition said, "Oh, this is the reason why Courtenay is a senator, because what he found out a lot of things in the Senate inquiry and whatever." But Courtenay proved to the Belizean people at that day the Belizean situation wasn't that important. It wasn't important. The Senate inquiry wasn't important that day. That's why he jumped on the plane and went and served his master. The Belizean people ain't for him. He's a traitor to his country and the people of Belize. So he must resign.
The PUP aside, Noble says Courtenay no longer enjoys the confidence of the people of Belize, especially if basic economic services are threatened with a successful court judgment against the Central Bank International Immunities Act and Crown Proceedings Amendment Act. He also made clear that heavy presence of known U.D.P supporters and operatives did not make this morning's event a Belchina-sponsored action.
If you feel the pulse of the people, if you're out there on the ground and you talk to people and you see what people are saying and the sentiment that people are sharing, people not happy with Courtenay. People not happy with what he's doing, They're not happy with the position that he's taking. The position of taking one man's self-serving interest above an entire country, above an entire country's national interest. Man, something must be wrong with that.
How do you respond to the criticism that the mighty U.D.P pull out and lead crowd at 70 and they want to rent a crowd?
Jules, you can say what you want, This is not the mighty U.D.P. This is a group of people, Belizeans against Lord Ashcroft and Courtenay. This is not the U.D.P, man. You know better than that, Jules. When the U.D.P ready for mobilize, it'll mobilize. This is not the U.D.P. This is a bunch of people who are discontent, who are not happy with what is happening.
Though the protesters dispersed from the field of battle at 11 a.m., Noble promises their targets haven't seen or heard the last of them. Aaron Humes reporting for News 5.